It's time to make something with potato chips. Yes, this next recipe is quite an interesting one for sure.
Chef Plum is here. He's making mashed potatoes, and that may not sound too crazy, but he's making them in a pretty unusual way.
Hey, Chef.
Hey guys, how are you? Good afternoon to you. I'm happy to see you. Hope you guys had a great vacation. I love how the lead into this segment was the health segment about being healthy.
Right,
so,
exactly.
yeah.
And now you're going to make something with potato chips.
Peas in a pod. Hey, listen, before I make it for you, I want to explain to you how I got here, okay? So I remember growing up, my mom, I had a single parent mom. She was not much of a great cook. And when she would make mashed potatoes, she would have those boxes of instant mashed potatoes. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those work.
Right. Hey, it works, but you got to figure. I figure what is actually in those, and then so I came up with this idea of, well, potato chips be instant mashed potatoes, and guess what? It completely works, and it makes delicious, creamy potatoes. Let me show you how to do it. Okay.
Okay.
So what we've got is typical, Lay's potato chips here. Any kind would work. I've got about 1.5 ounces measured out here in my container, and it's about 1.5 ounces per person seems to work. So come to my overhead camera, you can see I'm going to take this kitchen tool and just kind of beat these up a little bit. I'm just trying to break them down. You don't absolutely have to do this, but I found it makes things work a little bit quicker when you do it this way. So I'm going to break them down, and I'll bring over my special stove here. And what I've got is a 1/2 cup of water, okay?
Okay.
1/2 cup of water. And listen, don't make a weird face. I'm telling you, they taste delicious. And the funny part about this was my wife was like, please don't make that on TV. But it's so fun, and I thought people would dig it. So I'm dropping those potatoes right in there. And what we're going to do is just take a spoon and just kind of move it around. We want that liquid to get all over those potatoes, just like this. And it literally, like, you think about what those instant potatoes are, it's just dried potato.
Yeah.
So if we reconstitute potato chips, it should work the same way, right?
Yeah.
Well, it works. And the best part is you can do like sour cream and onion potato chips. You could do like barbecue potato chips. It works great. So as you start to cook this down, yeah, you get great flavors in there. I know you're looking at me like, what? This is crazy talk, but I'm telling you, it's delicious. So what we've got going on here is I'm going to bring this to a boil, and that liquid's going to start to kind of go away or evaporate. Now we talk about culinary techniques. In this technique we're using, it's called reducing, right? You guys remember what reducing is?
Yeah.
Yes. The water's going to reduce down.
Yeah, Kara, I'm so happy you paid attention. It makes me so happy that you learned these things. So we're going to get rid of that liquid, or it's going to get absorbed into the potato chips. Look at this. Here we go. So what ends up happening, it takes about 8 minutes total. What ends up happening is it looks like this. Ready? I got this one back here. It looks like this. So you can see the potato chips have started to kind of get that texture of mashed potatoes, right?
Yeah,
but we need to add something creamy to this, to add that little bit of cream to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about 1 tablespoon. I have heavy cream here. You could use 1/2 and 1/2. I mean, for God's sakes, we're making this with potato chips, so you can use milk if you want to. There's no right or wrong. So I'm going to add a little heavy cream, 1 tablespoon of it. I'm just going to mix that into these potato chips. Excuse me, mashed potatoes. Mix this in with our mashed potatoes and let it kind of start to absorb that cream. And that's going to give that delicious, creamy flavor to these potatoes. I'm telling you, you're looking at this going, he's making mashed potatoes out of potato chips. And I am. But it's really good and it's really fun. Let me tell you something right now. Your kids are going to love this. They're going to think it's so cool. So check this out. Beautiful. Let's move our pan out the way here, and I'll plate this up. Look how great this looks. Here's a bowl. I'll scoop this out. Look at this. Are you telling me that doesn't look like delicious, creamy mashed potatoes?
Really,
I mean, come on.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Chives. Isn't it crazy?
Well, if you had people coming over and last minute you didn't know, and you had some potato chips in the cupboard, you could do something.
Right? I finished it with a little black pepper there. I'm telling you, look at this. You look at the overhead camera. Look at that. Look how great that looks. They're tasty. They're delicious. You can make them with different flavors, and it's so fast. And so your regular potatoes wouldn't even been boiled in 8 minutes, much less cooked full mashed potatoes. And I'll tell you what, if my mom knew about this when I was a kid, probably wouldn't have been any instant potatoes. It would have been potato chips.
Yeah, no peeling or anything. Hey, real quick, what's the ratio? Water to...
So I use a 1/2 cup of water to 1.5 ounces of potato chips. So 1.5 ounces pretty much fits one person. Oh yeah, and of course, by the way, this week, you guys, on Seasoned on CT Public, got to check it out. We're hanging out with Sam Sifton from the New York Times.
Oh, cool.
Such a fun conversation.
Nice.
Next week, pretzels made out of a croissant.
And you can have this before you get your vaccine, FYI.
Oh, great. Thank you, Chef.
Or after. Okay.